Yeah.
This is really so interesting. This, yes, it isn't it ironic?
Yeah.
I must know that my intuition is correct.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, one of the things for me is, as I said in the Facebook group, I think that desire to know tends to come very much from the ego. And by the way, when I talk about ego, I'm not talking about the concept of ego as evil, dirty, nasty, and mean. I think we all have ego. And the trick is to get your ego nicely balanced. And the ego is more masculine because it more conscious mind. It's more direct. It thinks it's in charge, but like all things, really, it's the feminine that's in charge. It's the unconscious that's in charge. So yes, I think we all have egos. I think egos, there's nothing bad about them, but it is about how we balance our egos, and part of the journey is learning to get that, if you like, more masculine, balancing the masculine. It's part of balancing the masculine in us, and then balancing that against the feminine, and that more unconscious and that more intuitive. And how do you get that balance? How do you dance that dance of intuition and knowingness? And maybe it's just a question of the more you integrate the two.
Yeah. And it was also interesting that I realized I've got a bit of a fear of what if I use my intuition and it's wrong. But again, I realized today I could make a decision based on a whole load of logic and research and goodness knows what else, and it still ends up not being the right decision. So again, that was useful that popped into my head this morning, that if I go with my intuition and I get it wrong, well, it doesn't matter, because I was as likely to have made, the wrong decision if I use logic for it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so useful learnings without a doubt.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Who else? What else? Anything that's come up for anyone?
Well, I had a very interesting night after our meditation on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I got very woken up at 3:30, and it was sort of like Spirit was saying, okay, we've got you. And this sort of energy came rushing in, and what came up within me was an incredible sense of vulnerability, which left me feeling very naked and exposed. And so I sat with it and knew it was okay, that it was actually all part of a release and something shifting. And sort of on reflection since, I don't think I've ever felt vulnerable like that before. That I knew that that's what it was. And so I've been sort of sitting with, okay, how's this related to my base chakra and my foundation? And I don't know that I've got particularly any answers yet. And I'm just going to have to trust the process.
And it'd be interesting to see what comes up when we actually do the meditation. I think one of the things about the root chakra is that it's also about security. And very often when we feel insecure, we don't want to show our vulnerability because they might attack us more, or it would weaken us, or that sort of stuff. So I wonder if there's some of that going on.
Yeah, certainly that. And certainly on reflection, there's a lot of, I don't ever feel it because I go into the defensive before I feel it. So there was a bit of that. It was, and yes, that. And really, when I did do a sort of bit of journaling around it, that feeling about, I might be found out. I might be found wanting. And also I might be seen. And so it's the, well, if I can be seen in all my glory, that's fine. So it's like, okay, there's something in the shadow there. chantling around that's ripe for dissolution.
Fabulous.
And acknowledgement and integration.
Thank you. Thank you, Pam. And I look forward to seeing how we get on with it. Who else? And you don't have to, by the way, this is just an opportunity to check in, opportunity to say what's going on. And if you know, it's not obligatory, it's just an opportunity.
I had a really odd experience. I just, I mean, during the actual session, you know, and during the meditation we had on Tuesday, I think I literally went to sleep. I just just all happened. But that night, I slept the deepest I had for years. And in fact, Colin got up twice with the dog, with the alarm set, and I never don't hear that. I never don't hear somebody moving around in the house, but both times, just completely. And then Wednesday, I went into a really, really weird sort of quiet space, which ended up, at the end of the day, I just felt completely sort of like, it's a really weird thing. If I said it felt like being without hope, I don't mean that in a kind of dragging sort of like, just sort of completely, I'm really aware that I didn't even really want to speak. I didn't really want to do anything. I'm reflecting on it. You know, I've been, you know, trying to work out, you know, my body's always coming up with all these, whether it's the migraine, whether it's the pains, whether it's the joint pains, you know. I just wondered whether this was just a plea from inside to just finally just listen. And it's possibly, you know, it's possibly something that's quite similar to what Mary was experiencing, in that we spend so much time controlling everything in order to keep everything ticking, and also to remain in control, to not let these, you know, these feminine ebbs and flows, the ebbs and flows of life sort of get us off our path of trying to get things done, trying to maintain a busy work schedule, etc., etc., etc. And I've just done it for so many years that, so it wasn't really a sense of hopelessness. It's almost like a sense of, I can't explain, I can't put it. It's like a sense of, I don't know what this space is. Right. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
But it was powerful. I mean, it was powerful because I just haven't felt like that at all, that kind of weird sort of like nothingness.
Yeah. So was it, so it's easiest to explain through example, because language around this stuff can be really quite tricky. It's like, I can't find the words. I can't.
Yeah.
A friend of Pam and mine, she's one of the teachers in the group in Hawaii. Actually, she lives in Hawaii. She's third generation Japanese, but she's born and raised in Hawaii. And she's in her late 60s and has been doing Huna, I don't know, 20 years or whatever. Anyway, and doing the processes and the meditation and everything. And she retired, I think, 2 years ago. She was an occupational therapist and very busy with it, and you know, all the stuff that goes on in any health service, that sort of pressure. And she's been doing a lot more meditation. What she was saying the last time that we spoke was that she's got to a place where when she meditates or wants to go quiet inside, there is nothing. Nothing happens. It's just. So I'm curious whether what you're experiencing, and you may not be able to say, that's fine, but I'm just curious whether what you're experiencing actually was that place of just, there's nothing, it's all okay and there's nothing going on inside, because it's just okay. Or whether it's, oh, there's something going on, but there's nothing going on inside because I don't know what's going on.
When I was thinking about it yesterday, because I guess I took the day off yesterday afterwards, I just and then spent most of the afternoon on the sofa sleeping, which was good. But part of what I was thinking was maybe it was just I've reached the end of the fight. It sounds a bit over dramatic, but it's just like okay, I've done this for long enough. I've been doing this like this for so long. And to tell you the truth, I'm just exhausted by it. I just want to stop. And maybe it's time to do something a bit different, because I ain't got anything else to give.
Yeah.
In this other. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to expend the last ounce of my lively energy in, fighting against something. I wonder whether it's just sometimes I just think I'm fighting against something the whole time.
Surrender.
Surrender. Yeah, it's a good word.
And this work will tickle stuff. I mean, it may stir stuff up. You've all done enough work one way or the other that your unconscious minds will look after you, and they're not going to present you with anything that you're not able to deal with. But if you do find that it's getting sticky, just get in touch. Okay, I'm here. It's the bit that I don't put in the blah about the process, because I can't explain it easily, but I'm here. If you get tickled, be tickled. If stuff is being stirred or a bit triggered, allow it. But if it gets to a point where you're going like, this isn't good, or this is scary, or I need help, get in touch. Okay, because I'm here and I can help.
Thanks, Jane.
And we've all got to. I decided to do something about my weight, and as part of this, I'm seeing a hypnotherapist, and I was bullied very badly at school, and it affected my relationships, affected all sorts of stuff. And when I was in my 40s, I had clinical depression. A lot of it triggered by that old experience of being bullied. So as part of coming out of the clinical depression, I healed it. I did loads and loads of work on being bullied at school. So when I've been working with a hypnotherapist, we've been talking about there's a resistance, and I've journaled, and I've done all the stuff and not been able quite to get to the bottom of it. And then I was doing we did a hypnosis visualization, and suddenly I realized that what had happened in parallel being bullied by my peers was that, and they put me in Coventry. I don't know whether you all know that expression. They put me in Coventry. I wasn't that well behaved, and the school decided that I should be kept apart from the rest at meal times and at playtime. I thought I'd healed all that stuff, but it never occurred to me, that piece had never occurred to me, that it needs healing. Now it's like, that needs healing. Yes. So sometimes this work will trigger old things that we don't even, we're not even conscious of. And as I say, I know that you've got the tools, and you've got the wherewithal to handle it. But if at any point you think, I need to reach out to Jane, reach out to Jane. That's what Jane's here for. Okay. So, anything for you, Fiona?
I couldn't be sure whether it was the night after the meditation or the next night, but I woke up at 4 and could not get back to sleep. And I think I must have gone back to sleep at 6, and I did all my usual body scanning and all that kind of stuff that I do, and counting, and I couldn't do anything. And my mind was going up and down and up and down and round and round and round and round in circles, which is what it does a lot at the moment. What should I do first? And all about, I think it's about starting new stuff, new business. And am I doing the right programs? Am I you know, am I just grasping at someone else to tell me what to do, sort of stuff. And then I had a dream which I had in childhood, and I've never really thought about it, which is a feeling of kind of not quite, I suppose, flying very low over water or something that's moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to have it when I was, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, and it was just recurring and recurring. I hadn't had it for years. And it's about something bumpy underneath. And when I had it as a child, sometimes it would smooth out.
Mm.
But this one, and maybe it just wasn't long enough, but it just didn't smooth out, and it was just really uncomfortable, bumping.
So there's a dream interpretation process that I teach, and there's not enough time to do that today. What I'll do is I'll note to self, and you can remind me if I don't do it. I'll do a video for you on how to interpret dreams, because it's a very simple process, and it's one that you can do for yourself very easily. And you don't need dream books or any of that sort of stuff, but the great thing about dreams, I mean, Freud and Jung talked of dreams as the road to the unconscious. It's a great way to help you connect with the interpretation of your dreams. Is a great way to help you connect with your unconscious.
I don't usually remember dreams, but it's just because this was a familiar one, I think.
Yeah. I'll do a video I'll put a video into the face. I'll probably be early next week, and then you can see what you can do with it. And who knows, while we're doing this process, something may come up anyway. Alrighty, cool. So has everybody got some sense of something that they might want to unblock or release in the sacred, related in some way, shape or form to the sacred, to the root chakra, not the sacred chakra, the root chakra? Yeah, has everybody got something? Ish.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, it's all right. Trust your unconscious mind to let something bubble up. And I think the other important thing to say is you may or may not get conscious insights. You may or not get, sort of instant answers and all that stuff. Be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, and just allow whatever needs to emerge, and whatever needs to change at whatever speed it needs to change. It's all about allowing, I think. And that's a much more feminine way. There's the allow. I think words like allowing and emergence are good words for us. So I'm going to share my screen. I did have some slides for you, but I don't think we need them at this point. I think we'll go straight to the computer audio, share sound. There we go. Okay, so where's it gone? Oh, hang on a minute. Go back a step, Jane. Where's it gone? Music. There we go. I had this all set up in advance, but there's only so much that you can do when you set it up in advance. So there we go. Right. So just get comfortable. I recommend you sit rather than lie, and I recommend that you have your feet uncrossed on the floor. It gives you a feeling of greater security, because on one level, if you need to run, you can run if your feet are uncrossed and on the floor. So that's what I recommend, and we'll just get the music going. If the music's too loud at any point, then just say. So we'll start with a little bit of breathing. We'll start all of these with a little bit of hard breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in. And out. And in. and out. In. Out. In. Out. 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 In. Out. In. And just use this to let go of any stresses, of anything that's been building up today or over the week. Just allow yourself to really relax into the breath. And if on the out breath you open your mouth and let your vocal cords vibrate slightly, you'll get an even deeper level of relaxation. And anytime you just want to relax, this way of breathing is a perfect way to relax. And we'll do 3 more of those. And you can either continue to breathe in this way or just go back to breathing normally. Just start by paying attention to your breath, just by noticing your breath, how it travels through your nose. Now the air then, where does the air go? How deep is it? Just notice your breath for a moment. As we're going to go on a journey. We're going to go on a journey down your Sushumna in the Indian system or your Kia in the Hawaiian system. which is this teeny tiny hair width narrow cord that runs down the length of your spine or up the length of your spine, depending which way you want to look at it, right in the middle, right at the heart of your spine. So I want you to allow yourself in your mind's eye, in your imagination, to take yourself right to the back of your head and position yourself at the top of your spine, but just to that point where the skull meets the spine. And then I'm going to journey down the Kia, the Sushumna, that teeny tiny channel inside the depth, right at the heart of the spine. Start to take yourself down, going past different organs, going past your heart and lungs, past your diaphragm, the upper organs in your tummy, and the lower organs in your tummy, all the way down to the very base of your spine, what we call the root chakra. And the root chakra, the first chakra, it's like a disc. So it's not a tiny spot, it's like a disc that spreads out there at the base of your spine. And this is the connection to foundation, to the earth itself. In the Hawaiian system, it's the natural home of earth in the body. So it's about stability, grounding, security, comfort, the hearth, the home. That's the energy of the root chakra. So allow yourself to really connect in to the earth, whether it's by imagining it there in the chakra, or whether you imagine tree roots going down through your legs all the way down to the earth itself. And find those earth qualities. Now the earth is a very feminine element. It's that mother feminine. It's Mother Earth. To connect with those qualities of foundation and stability and just rootedness, groundedness. Just connect to those qualities. And if you sent your tree roots out, just draw up as many of those qualities and as much of those qualities as you want to. Allow yourself to draw them up into your body, nurturing the sustaining. We come from her, we go home to her. Bring those qualities up into your root chakra, or feel them in your root chakra. Very feminine qualities anyway. And as you connect with the earth and you connect with the grounding and the foundation and the stability, I want you to go ahead now, and if you know of something that's blocking you around foundation, stability, home, around the root chakra, around the digging in, then bring it to mind. And if you don't consciously know, that's fine too. Just ask your unconscious mind whether there's anything that you need to let go of at this level, at the level of the root chakra. Because when we have good foundation, and this is our foundation, when we have good foundation, everything else becomes so much easier. So releasing any blocks around foundation and stability and groundedness gives us the foundation to really step into who we are, So just go ahead and ask your unconscious mind to either consciously or unconsciously allow you to become aware of whatever blocks you in this area. And ask your unconscious mind, and it may feel uncomfortable for a moment or two, but it's only for a moment. Ask your unconscious mind just to light up the block and light up wherever it may be, not just in your root chakra, but anywhere that it may be. And the root cause, the very first event, how you ever knew you had it, whether it's in this body, whether it's in the cells, the space between the cells, whether it's in the DNA, whether it's before, during, or after your birth, in the womb, or before point of conception, or before karmic, past life, ancestral. Just light it all up, and as soon as it's lit, open yourself up to the energy from source, or the divine energy, or higher self, or the collective, God, Goddess, that power, that bigger power, source, universe, whatever that is. And allow yourself to bring in that energy with the intention of letting go of that block. So bring in that energy with the intention of release the block, let go of the block. And it may be that you dissolve, or you just, it disappears. You may get a tingling or a popping or a just, oh, it's gone. Just bring in that energy, direct it wherever it needs to go, and make sure the release happens. Just want it to happen, will it to happen. And you may consciously have an experience, or you may not. Your unconscious knows. Your unconscious knows what's going on. And while you're doing that release, I'm going to direct some energy of the divine feminine, energy of Uli, the representation of the divine feminine, pure energy to help with the release. And just pay attention and notice as it goes that it's gone. Want it to happen, will it to happen, allow the release to happen. Anything to do with anything that gets in the way of having that foundation and that groundedness and that real sense of who you are, and it being okay to be who you are. And the energy works very fast. So as soon as it's all gone, allow any learnings there are to bubble up. Make them positive and about you. And they may bubble up into the conscious, or they may bubble up into the unconscious, and either way is perfect. So get those learnings and keep them in the special place you keep for such learnings, so they'll always be available to you whenever you need them. Get all the learnings, make sure the release is complete. And as you complete the release, so at the same time, we complete the music. So I'll play the music again. And now what I want to invite you to do is just allow that same energy to come in again, but with the intention now of filling up all the old voids where that old block or blocks used to be. So we're going to fill up all the voids and the root cause, the very first event, how you ever knew you had it. Whether it's in the DNA, whether it's in the cells, the space between the cells, this body, another state of being. whether it was in the womb or before, past life, generational, before, during, or after your birth, karmic, ancestral, wherever it may be. And we're going to fill those voids up, fill up all those old spaces where those old blocks used to be, or that block used to be, with love healing energy, with positive new learnings, new ways of being, new ways of behaving, new ways of thinking, new possibility. Because this is source energy, and at the level of source, everything is pure possibility and pure truth. And as you're letting this energy come in, fill all these spaces with these new ways of being. And again, feel the divine feminine coming in. The energy of Uli, the representation of the divine feminine. And the feminine is compassionate and nurturing. So allow that energy to be compassionate and nurturing and strong for you. As we bring in those new learnings, new strategies, new ways of being. Bringing the light of Uli to the earth. Because although she is dark, she's also light. And allowing yourself to feel that lightness. The lightness of meditation and visualization. The lightness of being. And even while being grounded and secure and in touch with your foundation, at the same time, it's possible to be light. In fact, the more grounded we are, the lighter it is possible to feel. And if there's anything or anyone related to that root chakra, that first chakra, that you also need to forgive, then now is an opportunity, and I'll just talk you through the process. Now, if there is nobody to forgive, or you don't want to forgive them, that's absolutely fine. But if there is somebody who you're ready to forgive, then what I want you to do is to imagine a stage way down beneath you, and put that person or people, or invite that person or people onto that stage, or pets, animals, could be anyone or anything connected with that root chakra. And then imagine an infinite source of love healing energy flowing down, coming down, opening up your crown, allowing that energy to fill your body, the love healing energy. Fill up your body with love healing energy. And as you do so, allow it to fill and fill and fill until it overflows your body and your skin is coated in love healing energy. So you're completely coated inside and out, and full inside and out of love healing energy. Until there's so much love healing energy flowing through you, you can open up your heart and allow that energy to flow towards the stage, the person or people on the stage, and allow them to heal and be healed. And then when you're ready, just make sure the stage is way down beneath you. You can see it and them, but that's way down beneath you. And when you're ready, it's time to have a conversation. So ask them to forgive you, and you forgive them. Now, it may be that them forgiving you is just them forgiving you for holding on to thoughts about them. Or it might be them forgiving you for some way that you hurt them, even though you didn't mean to. something you said that landed badly, and just for being there, wrong place, wrong time. And just hear what they have to say, and say to them what you have to say, so the healing process can be complete both ways. So kuka kuka, say what you have to say. Let them say what they need to say. Even if it's a pet. Just allow it all. Want it to happen, will it to happen. And if there's nobody to forgive or you're not forgiving, that's fine. Just be aware of the process. Allow that to happen because it helps complete the healing. Brings in the compassion. And then, as soon as you're done with that, there's just one more step, 2 more steps. So ask them to step to one side. As soon as the process is done, ask them to step to one side and notice if there are any dark spots on your stage. And if there are any, that's absolutely fine. I want you to imagine sweeping them away with a huge soft broom, feather dust, or even soft sweeping away of the dark spots. So we sweep them off into the light and send them into the light. And if any of them are a bit stubborn, then I'd like to speak directly to them. Offer you them a one-time guide to take them out into the light. And they can follow the guide and go into the light. Because you're not Amakua, you're Unihipili. And this guide will enable you to evolve. So just give the stage one last sweep and notice how the spots are gone. And then just allow the sage to dissolve and imagine a laser blade of light coming down. What I want you to do is gather up all the cords of connection with the person or people. And we're going to cut the cords, because when you cut the cords, you can reconnect at any time just by thinking of them, but you reconnect in a new context with a new energy, a cleaner energy. So just go ahead, pull the cords, gather up the cords, allow the laser blade of light to come down and cut all the cords of connection. Notice how as they're cut, they sort of dissolve away and the ends just dissolve. And feel that sense of, that was then, this is now. This is a new possibility, a new opportunity. And if you don't want to reconnect with them, you don't have to. And if you do, you can just by thinking of them. Just notice how the cords dissolve, feel that clean energy. And then when you're ready, as soon as you're ready, allow yourself to start to come back into the room. Bring yourself back gently. Back into the here and now. So bring yourself back into the room, back into the here and now, back into your body, back into the chair, right back. I'm just going to switch off the music, which will be a little abrupt. So let's just stand up and have a wee stretch or a wriggle or a shake, just something to move the energy, just shift the energy slightly. I'm going to take a swig of water, but bum wiggle, breast wiggle. arm wiggle. Just to make sure you're back. So, any thoughts, any comments, any reflections, anything we need to know? And it's fine if there's nothing. And this is really just a check-in, just to see that, to see how you're doing. Pam's looking zoned.
Yeah, I don't know where I've been.
But you're back now.
Most of me. Some of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so long as we haven't left them there. I did a meditation. It was a Monday morning meditation, and one of the ladies, I couldn't see everybody on the screen, and I didn't realize that she'd just fallen asleep or gone somewhere, and didn't hear me bringing everybody back. So anyway, I can see all of you, and you're all back, which is good. Anybody else? Anything else?
Actually, I really like that. And I visualized the blockage as it was a very hard, dark shape in my gut.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to visualize it dissolving with the white light.
Oh, lovely.
Coming in.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I have a lot of gut health issues, and I've worked with endless nutritionists, and I have believed for a long time that there is a lot of emotional problem there, because I'm not getting rid of my gut health issues despite working with endless nutritionists. So it's interesting, because I've been thinking for a while, I need to find the right therapist. I don't know if it's a kinesiologist or what it is, or maybe it's this.
Yeah.
But I have for a while, and again, my intuition has told me it is an emotional problem that's stuck there, that just, well, it's got stuck there and it hasn't moved, and that's what is left, that is causing my gut health issues.
Yeah. And gosh, our guts are so, I mean, they talk of the gut now as a second brain. There's so much intelligence in the gut. There's so much that goes on in the gut.
Yeah.
And the next time we'll move up to the second chakra, which is that whole sort of lower abdomen area.
Okay.
So you may find you get more insights there as well.
Yeah, lovely.
Lovely. Thank you, Mary. Fiona, are you waving at me, or are you
I did feel things going on with the chakra, the light, and wasn't quite sure what, but with the stage, 3 people appeared there who I thought I had dealt with before. I realized that. So that, and the interesting thing was asking them to forgive me, because I think that was maybe the bit that I hadn't fully done before. Acknowledge that maybe I had been at some fault or something.
It's not even fault, it's a part to play, a part to play in some known or unknown way. Yeah.
So that was really powerful.
Fabulous. Good.
And interestingly, it was a school stage.
Some of these things are very old, especially at the level of the root chakra.
Yeah.
And then go back a long way.
It's really interesting though.
Great.
It was my school cohorts that appeared on the stage. Oh, this is interesting.
Well, and I guess I had referred to my school experiences, so that may have triggered a thing or two, I guess. So. How are you doing, Sarah Jane?
Are we allowed to do it again on the recording? Because I just keep falling asleep.
Yeah, of course you can.
At one point, I nearly fell off my chair, I think. No, seriously, I just cannot. I mean, I just looked at the time because I just feel that 5 minutes has passed, but actually
No, it's about
Just-
20. Yeah.
I don't quite know why that's happening at the moment, because I'm not tired at the
Yeah.
moment. So
Yeah, that's why, that's the other reason for doing the recording. So yes, definitely.
Yeah.
You can go through it as many times as you want to.
great.
Yeah. And the unconscious mind's always listening. So even if you do drop off to sleep, the stuff will be, things will be happening. It will be going in.
The funny thing is, it isn't even just a drop in, it is like a jigging. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
I just go straight to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like, but perhaps that's the way it feels like they can listen. I don't know. It's weird, but I will try again. I want to try again. Thank you.
Yeah. And again, be compassionate, be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, because if things get triggered, things may get triggered, and just allow it to happen. And whatever happens is meant to happen. Something called you all here. Who knows what, but something in the energetics between you and me called you here. And you heard the call and went and went yes. There are plenty of people who heard the call and went no. So you heard the call and went yes. So there's a reason. Alrighty. So what I'll do is I've got all the homework for not the homework, but what we'll be doing next week. So the things to think about for next Friday, so that you can identify any blocks. I do encourage you to be kind to yourselves and drink lots of water. And it is energy, and when energy sifts, sometimes that can be like, ugh, what's going on? Sometimes it can feel odd. Yeah, it can feel unusual. And gradually, as you settle into the new level of energy, it's like, oh, okay, this is the new norm, as they say.
Jane, would you encourage us to listen to it again? Even though I feel I was very aware of what was happening, it's good to listen more often. Okay.
Yeah, it's there, and you can, and only do as much as you have time for, do as much as you feel called to do. And if there's a bit of you going, no, then don't.
Okay, thank you.
Do what feels right for you. And everybody will be different at different stages, and everybody will have different responses at different stages. But as I say, the main thing is, I'm here if you need me, and I know that you actually do have the tools to deal with anything that may be triggered, and you're here for a reason.
Bumble. That's it. Play with poo.
So,
Good boy. Good boy.
I hear Bumble.
Yeah, he just started to scrabble to come in, and I don't want him ruining the paintwork.
So, take care, be kind to yourselves, be good to yourselves. If you need me, you know where to find me. And I'll see you same time, same back channel next Friday.
Lovely. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Okay, lovely. Thanks, Jane.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Okay, but I'm going to leave.
And stop the recording.
I think.